Yeah, moving on to the EFL Cup. Chelsea play Arsenal at the Emirates, right?
I
And
just hope he
first leg
starts his
ended.
best players this time. Bring
We're all
Cucurella,
hoping
bring
so.
Reece
I
James.
want so that
Don't go
this
and bring
Arsenal's
Garnacho and maybe he can bring Garnacho
quadruple will
and
become.
see maybe he can do something.
I want this Arsenal's quadruple to become one or open. So the
No, it will be
first
one.
leg
It will be at least one.
Yeah, the first leg ended 3-2. Was such a terrible first start from Chelsea. Arsenal dominated, and then things changed in the second half. Right, Garnacho came on, scored 2 goals. I think they were from set pieces, but not like
No.
directly. Not directly.
Yeah,
Indirect set pieces. Yeah, and the second leg is at the Emirates, and let's start with the Arsenal fan. What are your thoughts? I should say, don't brag too much, Joe. You know how the last one ended.
It's my team. I have to brag. No matter what
Okay,
happens. If we win, we
tell
win.
us
If we
what
lose,
Right, right,
are your
if we
thoughts about the
lose,
game
we lose. So I
and
have
then
to
scoreline.
brag. So it's going to be a very difficult game. It's not going to be as easy as people think. 90%, 95% of opposition fans would support Chelsea against Arsenal. It's expected. We're already used to the hate, and you guys will be shamed tomorrow. And but let's talk about
Chakam.
let's talk about the let's talk about
May the spirit of Cunha and Buebo enter Joao
Amen.
Pedro and Enzo Fernandez and
Tomorrow
Cucurella.
you will hear Pedro.
Pedro, Enzo.
So let's talk about the match. The reason why Chelsea fans are actually they actually believe is because of what Garnacho did in the first game. Arsenal should have been 3-1. We should have left Stamford Bridge with 3-1 as a result, but that has happened. And like I tell my Chelsea fans, your coach Rosemary should not try what he has always been trying. He should start with his very good players. Start with your best team. Fortunately, Cucurella is here. You can start with Cucurella, have your Fofana
Don't tell
and
him what to do.
Chaloba.
Don't tell him what to do. Go and tell Ateta what he should do.
Tell us what you will do.
What
Sorry.
will you
I'm
do?
talking about Chelsea and Arsenal. When you get to a final, we can start analyzing Manchester United. So we have James, and if he starts with his first 11, it's going to be a very difficult game. But for Arsenal, the onus is on Arsenal to just we have the win, so the pressure is not on Arsenal; it's actually on Chelsea. And I see Arsenal winning 2-1. 2-1 tomorrow, because I'm 100% sure Arteta too will give Chelsea the respect they deserve by starting a very strong lineup. I'm sure Rice will definitely play, Zubimendi will play. I will see Gabriel and Saliba, and Saka is not as injured as people actually think, so he might play tomorrow or maybe wait till weekend. So it's going to be a very strong lineup from Arteta. I don't know who will start up front, Gyökeres or Jesus. Whoever he starts should be able to at least pose a threat to Chelsea defense. So it's going to be a very difficult game. But because of the fact that we left Stamford Bridge with a win, the pressure is actually more on Chelsea to actually deliver. And one thing I need to also point out is Chelsea over the past 4-5 games, they perform more in the second half of games, not in the first half, and that is also due to the in-game management, because he would just, and that was what helped first leg. As now we scored, then the subs Garnacho also scored 2 goals. So if we can maybe get the first goal, then I see us winning 2-1 tomorrow. It's going to be a difficult game, but I see us winning.
It's going to be a difficult game. Shola, do you think it will be a difficult game, or Chelsea will,
Of course.
or Arsenal will?
No, I mean Arsenal. We all, it's like they hate us because they are in us right now, and we should enjoy it. We should enjoy the hate. It comes with being on top. It's part of the perks of being on top. So you have to give Arsenal that the way they handled or the way they annihilated Leeds, that's like what champions do. Just like coming back from that loss against United and to actually put their foot forward and to re-establish themselves as the ones to beat, I have to give them that. Now, speaking to Arsenal and Chelsea, obviously, historically, it's going to be a tough match. It's also a London derby. So, I mean, it's always going to be tough. It's always going to be tough, tough, tough. But what I'm just praying for is the spirit of Drogba, Didier Drogba, to enter whoever is going to lead that line for Chelsea tomorrow. Because how many matches has Drogba played against Arsenal and he always come on top about 13 times that he has played against them and scored
Because
almost every
Arsenal is a
time.
very good
So
customer.
to Didier Drogba, yes. So tomorrow, to be honest, with what Liam Rosenau is doing, and with the confidence that obviously five wins in a row does to you, 5 wins, I think it's really going to be a tough match for Arsenal. Arsenal are the one that really has something to lose. I don't think Chelsea really have anything to lose like that because obviously you already lost the first leg of the match. So Arsenal are the one to really hold on to the win that they've had from the Stamford Bridge. So, but with the manager, I think he's really good when it comes to in-game management. So I see him as somebody that could really watch the game and spot what is actually happening and what he could actually do to rectify whatever situation. So because of that, if he could put his best foot forward, I see a very narrow win for Chelsea. To be honest, I see a narrow win for Chelsea, and Chelsea and Arsenal. Chelsea have that, I don't know, that belief. That belief that they were able to beat with the same belief that they beat PSG, with the same belief that they beat Barcelona. They have that, just have that horror, that belief that what. I think Arsenal historically they don't have that, but Chelsea they can really beat anybody. So because of that, I will give it to Chelsea. But again, no disrespect to Arsenal, but I'm just saying that because of this. And of course, I want their quadruple dream to become
To
one.
become one.
Yes.
Brown, I recall you one time saying something about how you heard somewhere, you read somewhere, perhaps it's even a fact, right? Now, before coming to Chelsea, Liam Rosinia has not won 2 games in a row. Do you want
Yeah.
to take that back now after winning 5 in a row? Do you want
No,
to
I
accord him
mean,
some more respect?
I have never disrespected Liam Rosenau. To just to put that out there, right? But at the time, those were facts that were already in play for everybody to see, right? It was visible for everyone to see. But quite honestly, I would give a huge thumbs up to Liam for the job he has done with this Chelsea side, especially because even though the earlier statement you made was facts in the air for everyone to see, he has come off the back of that and he has almost instantly eradicated that already in the eyes of people, with the performances and what he's doing with this current Chelsea team. Now, Shala mentioned something about falling in love with a coach that comes to a club, is hyped up, talks the talk, and also delivers on the pitch. That's what we want from coaches, right? So Liam Rosenau coming to the Premier League, even though there were talks that he has never coached in the top tier of English football, so he perhaps may not be able to cope, especially with the schedule and all that, and with this Chelsea team that has a lot of young players.
Also
But
playing
he
in
has
4
come,
competitions.
yeah, exactly. He has quelled all of that, and evidently it's in the game against Arsenal in the first leg of this EFL Cup where he substituted Garnacho in, and then he came, scored 2 fantastic goals that now we are saying is giving them the opportunity to go into the second leg with a bit of impetus. But at the end of the day, when it comes to Chelsea, Arsenal, whether you like it or not just is it a huge London derby, but again, these are 2 big teams, and you cannot take anything away from these teams. It doesn't matter where they are on the table, it doesn't matter what their performance have been in the previous games, but when they come against each other, it is always a very, very difficult game. And if you go by the history between Chelsea and Arsenal, in the last 3 games between them, I mean, in the Premier League, it was in 2025, it was a narrow win for Arsenal at the Emirates. They won by a narrow one goal. And then if you come down to the Premier League of this season, it was a draw, even with a red card, you know, at Stamford Bridge. And then the last EFL game that they met, still 3-2, very close call between these teams. So yes, Chelsea any day, anytime, they can always turn up, right? But then again, you go back to this Arsenal side. These players have been together for a bit, same manager, they have improved. And the good thing with Arsenal is that every season when Arteta goes into the market, he tends to make amends for positions that they had challenges with. So every new signing they bring in is an improvement on specific areas that they were struggling with in the season before. So kudos to the Arsenal board, kudos to the Arsenal team, and to this Arsenal manager who has taken the team from where they were to become as competitive as they currently are. So this is a very close game. It's going to be a very tight game between these teams. But then again, I think the one thing that I think will stand out for Arsenal that will detect where this game turns, who goes to the final is the goalkeeper and those two central defenders. They are going to be very pivotal as to whether or not each of these teams are able to secure the win against the other. So, for the sake of prediction, I would say Arsenal will narrowly win this one by 2-1.
He's not happy to.
But
He's not happy with that
yeah,
subscription, but he just have to say it.
I mean, 2-1. Yes, as tough as it might sound, but I mean, Arsenal, I see them winning this one by 2-1. Difficult game, interesting game. I see a lot of players turning up, especially Enzo, who currently is one of the top goal scorers for us and for Chelsea in the Prem. So he's doing a fantastic job coming from deep to now score goals. And
Arriving in the box.
Cucurella is also back, who is always a challenge both
Yeah,
behind and
we
up.
also have own goal.
So I mean, it's going to be a tight
How many own goals have Chelsea scored this season?
we also have I don't care. It's that player we score.
at the
Like
end of
how
the day.
Even though your
The-
own goal now has 5.
another thing is that you need to also, back to what Shola said, right? As long as you are at the top, people will always come for you. You cannot run away from it. For those of us that have
I
won
mean,
the
you want
Premier
us to be
League
saying,
multiple
oh yeah,
times,
be going,
we are used to these things. We will not
If we
like you.
cannot
We
drag you
cannot
down
like
on the
you.
pitch of play, we try to drag you down with
I
words,
mean,
mentally, emotionally. It works. Mind games
it's
works.
not always going to go your way. That's life.
Exactly.
If I may, I might just delve into the City game straight up before we
Yeah,
move on
yeah,
to the.
go ahead.
So I mean, as per the City game, right? The City game between City and Newcastle.
Newcastle.
Newcastle, they've I don't know what is happening with Eddie Howe and this team. I realized that the game they played against Liverpool just the other day, they were missing quite a good number of their players, especially in midfield. So you see Bruno G unavailable, you see Jolinton not there, and Tonali is also missing. So these are very pivotal players in the system.
Has Tonali not left Newcastle? The
I'm not
transfer didn't go through. Because I
No,
saw
no,
some
no, no,
news
no.
about him leaving. Okay, please go ahead.
I'm not very sure
By the way,
about that. Anyways, so
Mateta
the,
failed the medicals.
Medical.
yeah,
I'm
medical,
telling you, Boniface
yeah.
also failed. I think something is wrong with that AC Milan. They don't want
Yeah.
to buy players. They want to
With
waste
this,
it.
So the Newcastle game, right? You see those important players in midfield for these guys missing, and since these guys have not been available, it hasn't really been easy for Newcastle, and that is evident in their current position in the Premier League table. However, the game between Man City on the other hand has also been an inconsistent lot lately, So you see the game against Tottenham where they are winning by 2-0 in the first half, came back in the second half and they were a shadow of themselves,
They were up.
And unfortunately, I don't know if Ryan Cherky had a knock and he had to be substituted in that game. I'm not very sure if he's going to be available for the game against Newcastle. But then again, with the way they have performed in their previous games, it's just an abysmal performance from this City side that is prolific for winning games And then when they are on top of games like the way they were in the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, you literally would just count it as your loss because they would always come out on top. So I don't know what is happening with this City team. They have been inconsistent, even with the new signings coming into the side. Yes, they score goals, but they have not been able to defend goals. So I see Newcastle scoring 2 goals in this game. I see Newcastle scoring 2 goals in this game. At the end of the day, it's going to be a 2-2 draw because, yes, City, other than Haaland, they have quite a number of players that can also produce goals for you. So I see City scoring 2 goals, and I see Newcastle scoring 2 goals as well. So this is going to be a 2-2 draw.
That takes
Yeah,
Man
just
City to the final.
to quickly speak to. Well, yes, of course. 2-2 draw takes it to the final. Both of them really have been shambolic in the past couple of games. Maybe that also ties into what Brown was saying about the Champions League being a very funny competition. But I mean, not necessarily. The Premier League is just tougher. It's league. It's a league competition, and the Champions League is a cup competition. So you can expect that certain teams will perform better in the Champions League than they would in their league. But just quickly speaking to the Chelsea game before we just finish here, I would say that Chelsea fans are worried about a number of things. One is how prolific Arsenal are with set pieces. This can lead to one thing: Tosin starting the game because of his height, which would be a problem for us defensively if Tosin starts the game, because Arsenal will still score. They will still score whatever they will score eventually. In fact, I think it was more worrying looking at how Leeds just collapsed over the weekend. It was the corner kick. The keeper was already scared, and by himself,
Yeah,
he punched
punched
the
it
ball
into
into,
the net.
into
Yeah,
his net.
true.
So it's scary how Arsenal, where they are going with this set piece thing. I think secondly, it's just fans looking at the coach and saying, "Bro, start your best team." But there's also concerns around that. You start your best team, then you have nothing coming off the bench, right? So I hope that Liam Rosinia is able to find a balance there. Who starts?
But players like Cucurella can play 90 minutes now. Why bench Cucurella against?
Of course.
I think it was partly because of the game they played against Napoli in the middle of the week. That was why
Players that
they
start
wanted
didn't really start this game.
Yes.
So I think it's just managing. And I also hope
It makes sense
Esteban is
anyway.
back.
And West Ham is also like battling relegation, so they were meant to be a small side and then
Unfortunately,
turned out to
Estava
be.
won't be around.
Esteban is not back yet.
He's still
I
in
hope
church.
everything is
Is he
okay
still
with
in
him
church
because
playing drums?
no.
I saw
Actually,
a
we heard
video of
that he
Estava
had to
playing
travel
drums in
back home.
church.
Of course,
Oh,
he plays drum in the church, but he had to travel back to Brazil for a family
But
emergency.
now,
So
Yeah.
we hope everything is fine at home. I was about to say that two of our best defenders are Fofana and Chaluba. If we don't play those people, I don't want to see Badeshil in that match. I even don't want to see him coming off the bench to seal off that game. He's not the kind of player that used to seal off any game. But Chelsea fans, we hope that the coach, puts out a very good team defensively. I don't want to see Garnacho starting that game either. I also don't want to see Gittins on the pitch. They can come in later when the game is in a good place. So yeah, I think those are some of the things that are just worrying for Chelsea fans. But other than that, if we're able to replicate the second half performance that we have had in the past 3-4 games against Arsenal, then it's going to be a very difficult game. But if we decide to go the way of the first leg, but just playing nonsense in the first half, I think that we'll concede maybe 2-3 goals in the first half. I might not be able to come back from that. Any last words about the game?
I also think that if Chelsea is going to stand a chance in this game, it will hinge highly on the performance of this boy, the
Caicedo.
Ecuadorian Caicedo. Thank you, because his performance on that day is going to be very, very pivotal as to where this game tilts towards for Chelsea. Hopefully he doesn't get a yellow card early in the game, so he's able to, perform to his very best, and then hopefully he does not, because at the end of the day, you see Enzo moving further forward to support the attack. So Caicedo sits back to allow that happen. So a lot of balls would have to go through that midfield, especially for the kind of football Arsenal plays, right? So I feel like at the end of the day, it's going to be very important for the Chelsea side tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I also want to
Right.
see James right back. I don't want to see any Gusto bumping forward. James is just
So
better the AY.
lastly, from my own end, Ateta has started something lately, which most Arsenal fans actually like. He has started benching Odegaard. And that's because Odegaard has not been performing in recent
Mm.
games. He's our
Let's
captain, but we have to acknowledge
now.
the fact that we are going for trophies. We need to play with players that are actually in form and are very good. So he has started Havertz. So we play more like a 4-4-2 formation where you see Havertz supporting Gyökeres and you see four defenders. Even the last match, you see that Rice was the one that played defense, and Zubi was the one up front, and that was why he was able to score the goal. So I see Ateta as he has developed, and I'm looking forward to what he has for us tomorrow. Who will
I mean,
start as the 10, either Havertz or Odegaard.
if you're definitely going to win the league, or you have to be creative at some point. You cannot win a league as difficult as Premier League with just one tactical or one style of play. It's not possible. I remember this season where things got really tough for Manchester City. I think they still won the league that season. Once it has gotten to the 70th minute and nothing is happening, Guardiola tells this boy, begin to cross the ball. Begin to cross the ball into the box because they had Haaland, right? So you just have to have a plan B, which is good. Arteta is, coming up with something different.
Again, credit to Arteta, just before we go, credit to Arteta again, in addition to what AY said about Arteta, right? Before now, you could tell that Arteta was a very sentimental coach, where if he doesn't like you as a player, it doesn't matter how your performance is on the pitch, he's going to put you on the bench, right? But lately, he's beginning to evolve from that. So even though he likes certain kind of players, if you are not giving him the results he wants, is going to now start playing people that are seemingly going to do that for him. And you could tell from the substitution between Odegaard and this guy that you mentioned earlier,
Havertz.
the Havertz, Kai Havertz, and you could see how key Havertz was in that game for Arsenal. So kudos to Arteta for beginning to be a bit more dynamic with his players, going more for results as against love for certain players. So yeah, it's a good one for the
I
team.
mean, football is a game of results. If you must win, you want to put aside your differences and play will get you the results, right?
Awesome.
And yeah, that will be all from us today. And we look forward to the results from the EFL Cup, semi-final cup games. And see you on the next one. Ciao.
Ciao.